Hi, welcome back to Wandering Magic. These are going to be your March 2026 messages. It's going to be for all signs, time-stamped, ready to go. Love messages. We're going to start with singles in that sign. Then we're going to do couples. And then just like last month, I'm going to do some letters. And again, the letters could be your initials, your partner's initials, or a past lover, depending on what comes out in the reading. And it could also be like a city that you live in as well. So keep these things in mind. I'll try to give reminders as I go along, in case you skipped along and just clicked on your sign. But also after you listen to your sign, you can go ahead and look at the timestamps and click collective message, because there's also a layered message in for you as well. Just a quick tip: if you could do your sun, moon, and rising, there may be a layered message, or maybe just like your sun and your Venus, since Venus is the sign of love and the planet of love. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with Aries. Aries, we have the Chariot. Lexi says not a chance. And you have the Escape Artist. Okay, so for singles, one of you in one of you, meaning I feel like you might be in a situationship here. And if you're not, stay with me. But it seems like one of you wants to move forward in this connection and the other one just does not. One of you is not. When things start to get real, it's like it's time to go. And for those of you who are not in a situationship, Spirit is encouraging you to basically be a little bit more choosy when it comes to lovers. Stop trying to escape when things get real. Don't be afraid to be loved in all the connections that you make. And essentially, you might be sabotaging your own self, basically, because you've put yourself into this vicious cycle instead of everything is a choice. Let me just say, everything's a choice. You can choose to continue on the trajectory that you are, but I will say it feels very lusty. It feels very like one night standish, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. But if you're looking for a true connection, recognize when you meet these people, whether you are actually operating from a place where, are you escaping because shit just got real, or are you sticking around because you don't want to do that anymore. Now, for those of you in connections, it seems like there's one of you that wants to go to take the next step in the relationship, but the other one is avoiding that step for whatever reason. Things feel a little out of sorts, out of bounds. Things feel a little bit, I just got lines were crossed. And so one of you in your connection it's like you're in two opposing directions. One wants to go one way, the other wants to go another, and it's just not working. I would say the best thing I could say here is, if you can't get on the same path, you're going to start having these real conversations. And I'm gonna say, with the new moon in Gemini on May 16th, if one of you was hiding something, that's definitely going to come out. And I feel like that's going to be a breaking point, unfortunately, for your connection. And maybe fortunate for you. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Let me grab some letters. Again, it could be you, the person you're involved with, or maybe even the city that you or they live in. We have R, J, T, and I'm being pulled to call one more, and E. Okay. Taurus. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, we have grow through it, and then we have back together. So let me show you. So for those of you that are single, it seems like you are coming out or came out of a relationship that was very, it felt like home to you. You were able to grow together, do all these things together. It was a really beautiful connection and dynamic that the two of you had, but it seemed like something got in the way. And honestly, what it feels like, one person didn't feel seen in the relationship. But conversations are being had, and it's not that you're going to be back together, but there might be talks of it. And there's some kind of reunion or coming together here. I'm also getting that you were really, you were kind of close with their family. Is that what I'm getting? I think it feels like you also broke up with the family. And so it just feels, that's why you feel so deeply connected with them. For those of you in relationships with the Ten of Pentacles reverse, go through it and back together. It seems like you hit a bit of a speed bump. And from there, it was like I'm seeing like a street with a bunch of speed bumps on it where you got to slow down, then you could speed up. You slow down, and then you could speed up. And so I feel like there's been a lot of that, a very like, it hasn't been very smooth in the past, but because of those hiccups and speed bumps in this case, it seems that because of that, you're growing through it, and you're still in the stage of trying to figure out how you can grow bigger and better and grow closer. But things seem to be getting better at all, which is a really beautiful thing. So let's grab your letters, and the letters could be you, the person you're involved with, or a past person, depending on what this, you know, what just came out, a city you live in potentially. All right, we have H, E, K, and R. All right. Next, we have Gemini. 10 of Swords. Brooklyn says, proceed cautiously. And the cheater story. Uh-oh. Okay, Gemini. So for singles. If you have your eye on someone, pay attention, because it seems like okay. Proceed cautiously. It literally says that on the card. So it's okay. If you're single, it seems like you've been single for a long time, and if you're hesitating to move forward, it's because you know there's a part of you that's not quite healed yet. And so this could be you, and if we go back to what I said a couple minutes ago with if you're connected to someone, they could be the one who's not quite healed. And it could be that you were cheated on in your last relationship, and so that might be what you need to heal from. But either way, it's stung really, really bad. And your last relationship did not end well. I feel like I'm kind of getting into couples as well, so just kind of stay with me if you're in a relationship as well. Someone is carrying these old wounds, and I want to say it's you, Gemini, because it's your reading, but you know, this could be you or the partner. You're not quite healed from that, and it almost feels like you look at your partner maybe and say like, they're gonna do that to me, or maybe there's an underlying fear that if you have cheated before, you feel like you might do it again. You might also be thinking about, if you are in a connection, I've never really blended these readings together, so just stay with me, singles and couples. It could be that you are wanting the ending of this relationship and you don't really know how to do it, which is the proceed cautiously. You don't know how to sever the tie, and it almost feels like if you don't leave, you might cheat, or you're still not healed and there's trust issues happening on one side, somebody's side, that is causing harm to the connection and the relationship. And so just be careful that you're not pointing your finger at your partner or blaming your partner for something that they didn't do. If you feel like that's your partner, it, you know, that could also be the case, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's what I got, Gemini. I'm gonna get some letters here. It could be you, a past person, a city you live in, one of those. It could also be your current partner. We have E, G, A, and K. Okay. Cancer. 9 of Cups, yes for now, and finger pointing. So, if you're single, it seems like you're very happy being single right now. It feels like you are it's starting to get used to this kind of thing. I feel like you're choosing yourself. I feel that right now, you know that you need to kind of take responsibility for yourself and your actions. Everything that kind of led you to this point of being single, kind of basking in that right now because it feels good. You know that there are things that you need to work on with yourself because of the things that you've been through. And May is, it seems like you're saying yes to all of the opportunities that are being presented to you and really basking in the ambiance of what it's like to be single and mingle and what it feels like to do things for yourself without the influence of others. And you now feel like this renewed sense of freedom. Kind of like, I can do whatever I want and this feels so good. And you're like genuinely happy about this. For those of you in relationships, okay. It's a little different for you. So you're choosing to stay in your connection for now, right? Because we have the yes for now. So you're choosing to stay in this connection right now. But if we look at the depiction on this 9 of Cups, this person looks lonely and they look a little sad. And with this finger pointing, I feel like there's a lot of arguments right now in the relationship. What I want to say is, if you are pointing your finger at your partner about something that they're doing or not doing, take a step back and see what it is that you're doing, in fact, that is exactly, I feel like what I'm saying is, what you're telling about your partner is exactly you. Like there's a mirror up to your face that you need to realize what's happening here. I'm feeling a bit of a disconnect in this situation. And what I'm getting is, though, like, let it breathe. and kind of see what happens. In your moments of being alone, I would really take that time to reflect on what the problems are. Maybe journaling is going to help with this as well. See what the problems are and see what it is that, now hear me out. If you feel like you're always doing something and your partner's not giving that back to you, maybe see where you're, I want to say this very gingerly, where you're coming up short, where your flaws actually lie, instead of just pointing to your partner. Where is it in turn that maybe you didn't do in the connection? And instead of just kind of blaming the other person. I just feel like May is going to give you a time of reflection for both single and couples. All right, so I'm going to do letters, and it's going to be, it could be your name, first or last, your partner, a previous partner, or where you live, obviously depending on the reading and what just came out. But we have Z, R, S, and U, the letter U. All right, we have the, oh, sorry, this is for Leo. For Leo, we have the Queen of Swords, maybe not, and abandonment. All right, Leo. So for singles, oof, a little cold right now. A little cold. You are single and you prefer to be this way because it seems like you're just kissing a lot of frogs and you're not quite finding the right one. There seem to be some ghosting involved. You have maybe some fear of abandonment creeping up on you. And anytime someone comes in, it seems like a good idea, and then you're like, I don't think so. And hear me out. Being choosy and picky is fine, but be careful with how cold you're being. If you yourself are disconnected, that's what you're going to attract as well. So that's what I'm going to say for you, for Leo. And if you're in a connection, I feel like be careful with some mental manipulation going on here. If someone in the past, ghosted you or just kind of like left you, and it brought up this wound of abandonment, maybe you struggle with abandonment issues throughout your life, maybe periodically or maybe forever, who knows. But regardless, it's time to forgive. And this goes for singles as well. It's time to really forgive, especially yourself. Forgiving others, forgiving yourself, that's where we start to heal. And that's where you could start to move on. But also in the sense of when I say you're getting cold, now is the time to really connect and work on the way that you see things, the way that you view things, the way that your mind and the patterns that are unfolding for you right now. Work on those. So meditating, getting quiet, doing things that are good for your mental health. Maybe some of us need to talk to therapists to really work out the kinks of what happened in these old relationships that are still trying to wreak havoc on your life today. All right, let's grab your letters, Leo. This is gonna be for you, your partner, first or last name, or even a past lover. Again, depending on the part of the reading that resonated with a past lover. And it could also be cities. Okay. You have T, N, F as in Frank, and E. Okay. Virgo, we have the Knight of Cups, don't count on it, and must list. So, Virgos that are single. Okay. If you're single, you are being extremely selective about your next partner, as you should be. You are being unapologetically yourself. You're loving on yourself. You're deciding, what your wants are, what your needs are, all these things. And you are like, if you don't make my list, you're out of here. Now is the time to really manifest the partner that you want, and really say, okay, the next offer that comes in, I'm not taking anything less than these things. And really, this is the period of time that you're working on that. A lot of emotional release, May 1st for that full moon in Scorpio. So maybe do a full moon ritual, releasing that. Sorry about the light. My window's open over there. So anyway, for those of you in connections, what I'm getting here is you are with someone that checks all your boxes. And for whatever reason, there may be, I hate to say it like this, but there might be some haters that don't support the relationship because maybe they don't really know, like they don't really understand what's happening here. And they may negatively say things like, oh, you're not going to make it, you're wasting your time, why are you with this person, yada, yada, yada. But for you, they came in with an offer that was just so loving and so beautiful, and it just got so charming. And it feels good. And so what I want to say to you is, if they're checking all your boxes and you know that this person is coming in with good intention, then just like let bygones be bygones. And if this is truly the person for you, your loved ones can come around. They'll come around. At the same token, if it's something that you're not seeing, don't turn a blind eye to it. And just maybe be a little bit open-minded to it. But ultimately, this person at the moment seems to be giving you and showing you everything that you want and need. All right, let's get your letters. So Virgo, this could be you, your partner, a past partner, a future partner too, actually. A city that you or this person live in. Okay. Oh, you got 5. You got Z, T, I, N, and J. Okay. Next up is Libra. You've got the Sun card, yes, and altered view. Wow. All right, Libra. For singles, what I want to say is right now you're finding your happy place. You're like reevaluating everything around you when it comes to love, when it comes to connections, like really being choosy here. You're starting to see things from a new perspective. It looks good. You realize that there are things from the past that happened, but you're not allowing that to harden you. If you continue to operate from this like open heart, like cracking open a coconut, right? When you crack that open, you get the most hydrating, naturally electrolyte-filled liquid for your body. And if you continue to nourish in that, things could be so beautiful. But right now, it feels like a journey of self, but it feels like the softest journey ever. it's like May is starting to have you release those emotions with the full moon in Scorpio, and you're embracing that. For those of you in connections, it seems like things were a bit tough there for a minute, but now conversations were had. I just heard Mercury retrograde brought something up, but now we're moving forward from that. But you're starting to rethink things. You're starting to say yes instead of no when it comes to your partner. You're starting to it just feels like Libra's in a very like soft period right now. It feels very like I'm coasting. I just saw like someone you know how some people go like on the back of a boat and they put those like water skis on and they hold on, but I'm watching it in slow motion and they're just gliding across the water. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting right now for May, for Libra. Okay, let's get some letters. We have, hold on, okay. Oh, we have 5. We have E, O, H, W, and P. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the 9 of Wands, soon enough, and physical intimacy. All right, singles. Here we go. Okay. Scorpio, when it comes to you being single, it seems like you've been single for a while. I don't want this to harden you and make you, I want you to be careful with the barriers and the boundaries, not the boundaries. What I'm saying is you've been working on creating healthy boundaries, right? But I don't want that to, what I just heard was calcify. Oh my gosh, calcify your heart. Meaning, we don't want this to harden you. It's an amazing thing that I feel like some of you have been celibate for a little while. Because you want to do it for the right reasons when it comes to physical intimacy. And the boundaries that you have, they are healthy boundaries. But I don't want you to block someone out or think everyone is like the last one, because it kind of feels like this is a game you shouldn't play. But I'm really loving this energy of freedom, but there is a undertone of like sadness and disappointment. And it seems like it might be lingering a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know why Mercury retrograde is popping up for you also, as it popped up for another sign, but I'm wondering if someone kind of popped up and kind of made you rethink things, or made you, you know, whatever the case was. But anyway, that's what I got for singles. Stay tuned for your letters. Scorpios in connections. I feel like with the partner that you have, you're trying to figure out how to, honestly, it feels like you're building walls a little bit. Not gonna lie. It feels like you're building walls. And physical intimacy is something that hasn't happened for a while. You are talking about it though. And it's just a topic of discussion. I'm just getting, it hasn't been on the table for a while, and you're just trying to figure that all out right now. But I feel like you can work through it. Be careful with the walls that you're building though in your relationship, because it seems like things are are stacking a little bit, but I feel like this is more about opening the lines of communication. So talk about it. It seems like the conversations are happening. If they're not, definitely talk about it, and try not to build your walls too high, because then you're essentially closing and shutting out your partner, which is not healthy. And this is about healthy boundaries, okay? All right, let's get letters. It could be you, your partner, first, last, middle name. It could be a city you live in, a past lover, depending on, you know, what part of the reading you're in. Okay. Wow, we have 6 letters. We have Q, V, L, I, Z, and G. All right. Sagittarius. The Wheel of Fortune, maybe so, and fake profile. Wow. All right. For Sagittarius in a relationship. Oh, I don't usually start there. We're gonna do singles first. For Sagittarius that are single. Oh, okay. It seems like you can't really catch a break. And you keep giving people the benefit of the doubt. But every time it happens, it's like, okay, the wheel's gonna move. It's gonna keep turning for the next person, because like I don't want to deal with this. And it almost feels like you're down on your luck a little bit. But you have a very keen eye, and right now you have a very keen intuition, where what I want to say is, just be careful you're not carrying this in with you, like a more of a pessimistic attitude. But honestly, it feels a little bit lighthearted, because it's like you're naturally recognizing this, and you are open. It feels like you are open, and I do feel, Sagittarius, that your next connection is going to be a genuine one. It's going to be a good one. So if you're talking to someone, maybe this is a good sign. For those of you in connections, okay. So it seems like, for those of you in relationships, it seems like you are moving on. You are moving forward. The person was not being honest with you. Because this is for couples, I guess you're still together. There's talks being had. You're saying maybe. And maybe this is working in a state of forgiveness, but it just seems like if this is not your partner, then it's you having a wandering eye. And I'm not feeling like it was something physical. It feels like it was something like social media. So this is not to say you should check someone's DMs because of this reading. If it doesn't resonate, just move on to your other sign, okay? But it just seems like you're trying to turn a blind eye to it and essentially move forward. You're still saying maybe. It's not a hard no right now to your partner. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, we're going to get letters. It could be yours, your partner's, or past lover, future lover, a city that you live in potentially. We have K, O, S, Z, and Q. Wow, those are interesting. It could also be nicknames as well. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn, we have strength in reverse, try again later, and dating. So Wow. Okay. For those of you that are single, okay. For those of you that are single, it seems like you're dating right now. You did get the dating card. You are also being choosy. I say also because it seems to be a reoccurring theme here. You're being choosy with people, and I'm getting like, they're not man enough for me. Now, that might have been a very specific message, but yeah, I heard not man enough for me, not quite what I'm looking for either. And so you're being very choosy, which is a wonderful thing. Try again later. And then there is also a depiction of a chain and lock. Yeah, because you know, when you decide you're going to be with someone, you're going to date them for a long time. Let me just say, before things take to the next level, you're just going to enjoy the company. You're going to enjoy the time. You're going to go out there and do things. And also, the most amazing thing right now that I'm getting is you're not even trying to control the dynamic. Things are just going to flow very easily. Now, if you are in a connection, it seems like you need to start rebuilding the love back up a little bit, because with dating, it means that you're not going on enough dates. It means that you're too stuck in your everyday life to really appreciate each other. I don't like the chain and lock on try again later, because to me it reminds me of manipulation. The devil card is ruled by Capricorn, and we do know that there is in the traditional deck, there's that chain, right? That talk about obsession and manipulation and control, all those things, where I feel with the strength card being in reverse here, it is you feeling like you don't have any control in this, which essentially you don't, right? But it just seems that you might be the one that's being controlled, and that's why you don't have control. But try to find ways, first of all, to communicate that if that is actually your dynamic and that is your story. But try to find ways to reignite the spark, because it seems like it's fizzling out a little bit. You're too stuck in the everyday of work. What are we going to have for dinner? You know, everything seems too predictable. And so the fun is essentially being gone. And that's not good. It doesn't feel good. It feels a little boring, if I'm being honest. Okay, so we'll get the letters for you, your partner, past partners, future, etc. Depending on the reading. Could also be the city that you're in. We have the letter T, A, S, another S, and L. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, you have the Five of Swords reverse, think it over, and narcissism. Okay. For you Aquarius singles, it seems... Okay. Aquarius, it seems like right now you're just having fun. You are, and you kind of don't care. You're just having fun, and you're not thinking twice about it. You might be breaking a few hearts. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, you meet people and you think about being with them, but not so much. I guess you don't think about it long enough because you're just a little bit kind of doing your own thing. Yeah. It just seems like a lot of partners, or yeah, like it just seems like you're just not taking anybody serious right now. You can't really find anything, but what am I getting with this Five of Swords? I keep staring at it. Okay. So, okay. It doesn't seem like you really like this though. Like you don't really want to be alone per se. And that's really what I'm getting from that. Think it over. This person does look so lonesome. But I think that what you need to do, it seems like you're really down on a situation, your last situation, your previous one. And if this is how you want to handle it, then this is how you want to handle it. I mean, it is what it is. But it just seems like you don't really want that. And I think that you need to take this time to reflect. Okay, moving on. If you're in a relationship, what it looks like here is someone is being very selfish. There's a lot of overthinking happening. This kind of feels like a state of surrender and just like letting things happen as they will, but it doesn't feel good. Someone definitely crossed a boundary and is operating mostly from their ego, and the other person is just like, I'm not dealing with that. Like I'm just gonna walk away. So it feels like a very uncomfortable, let's just say uncomfortable period right now. Okay, so Aquarius, this could be you, your partner, a past partner, maybe a city you live in, or a future partner. We have O, A, B, and D. Okay, Pisces. Well, you're in reverse. You have the Hangman in reverse, need more info, and invest. So if you're single, Pisces, it seems right now that you're trying to figure out where to invest your time and okay, it seems like you're getting to know someone right now, but it's very, very early on, and it feels almost platonic, like friendly more than anything. It's kind of giving you a perspective that you haven't really thought or considered before. And you're just not sure. Oh, I said you were in reverse because the Hangman is one of the cards for Pisces. What's interesting in this deck, the Hangman is depicted upright, but in traditional, he's upside down. And in reverse, he's actually upside down. So that's, I never noticed that before. Regardless. Oh, darn. Yeah, it was in reverse. I was like, wait a minute. My thoughts jumbled. All right, so the Hangman is reversed. and he's actually reversed in this deck. And so with this, I say I'm focused here on the moon. It seems like you're just considering how you can invest your emotions. You're just not sure right now. You're not sure. You're like, I need more time to figure this out. I'm not really sure where this is going. It's very confusing. And only thing that's going to give you answers is time. And that's really that. If you are in a relationship, Pisces, right now, it seems like it's in the early stages, or you might have been with this person for a while, but you just feel like you're getting to know each other all over again, and you're starting to see things the way you've never really seen them before, and it just feels very refreshing. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, we're gonna do letters, and it could be you, your partner, future or past. You got C, Q, I, and O. All right, message for the collective. We have the Four of Pentacles, Honey says no doubt, and magical mindset. So it seems like as a collective, it's a very unselfish time. It's a very giving time. It's giving, which is very masculine energy, the yang, and it's because you are in this, it seems like a really good headspace. And what that feels like is very sure and very assured about yourself, where you are, what you're doing. You have no doubts that someone is going to cloud your judgment, try to control you, try to take over you, any of those things. You are kind of feeling happy right now. And if you're not, the best thing to do is try to find the joy and happiness in the everyday. So when you operate in that state, you then attract that to you. And so if you continue to be in a space of giving, you will eventually be in a state of receiving. So also what you put out is what you get back. And so also keeping that in mind, everything that you think is also a projection of what is going to come to you as well. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, if you're thinking this isn't going to work out, if you're thinking I'm never going to find the right person, that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you change that and you think about it a little bit better or different, then things end up working out more to your benefit than your detriment. And ending this with, you are the creator of your own reality. All right. Again, watch your sun, moon, and rising for any layered messages, or maybe your sun didn't resonate with you and look to your other signs. If you want a personal reading, the information's down below. And that's all I got. So I hope you enjoy your month of May, and I'll see you next time. Bye.